talk about trends in TV viewing. So what have you noticed in regards to the changes, the trends going on in TV viewing consumption right now?
You know, there are just so many opportunities, and it's, I agree with Amy. It is such an amazing time right now, and I feel very lucky to be at E1 because I'm not doing Kool-Aid time right now. I actually do, because we're a big enough company, you know, we're a publicly traded company, we're market cap a little over 2 billion, offices everywhere. And so we really sell everywhere. And that was my narrative when I sat down. I was like, okay, the thing about this job that made me comfortable leaving running the TV department CA to this is like, okay, it's like a piece of it is like the agency world. I'm going to sell everywhere because we don't have a network. And so it was when Fox announced their Disney thing, you know, I kind of ran over to Peter Rice and then to Lachlan and to Michael and said, like, let us be one of your in-house studios. And so you learn all about the buyers, and what our narrative is we're going to be one of the highest volume premium independent studios. And our desire is that for all these big media companies, they're going to need a couple reliable third-party suppliers, because inevitably their internal systems will not work and they will need somebody else to bring them because they will need great shows always. So that's what we try to do. We go out with a big project. We try to almost every week. It's something that's thoughtful and packaged well, and it's an incredible amount of work. And as I do that, I kind of always ask Michael, what's on your mind? What are you thinking about? Or Amy, like what's, you know, as she passes on some things, she doesn't buy everything. She does buy a lot from us.
Me too. I've been good.
You've been very good. We have a couple great productions that we're really proud of. And you start to learn what everybody's needs are. And then you start to understand, oh, when really cool stories come in, you're like, oh, it's going to be right for these three places. And so you're in this flow of understanding that there are all these systems that are being created, and technology, again, has changed our business so much. And Hollywood is really, it's been, you know, how do you say this where it's not a headline? It's changed. You think about AT&T owns Warner Brothers, and Disney Fox is kind of the last pure play studio, and Netflix and Apple, Amazon, the biggest retailer. You know, like it's not the Hollywood that was for decades. And now there are these other agendas of, can you combo telephone service with Uverse, and here's this extra additive, which is content, which is like our whole deal, right? And then you look at Amazon just wants to sell as many things on the biggest retail store on the planet as they can, and they use content to help that. And so you're looking at everybody's needs, and you're kind of going, well, if you have a great show that 10 million people absolutely love, that is going to be a huge success financially. And it used to be that we had to have, you know, whatever the demos used to be, and now you think the numbers now, it's unbelievable the change. I remember shows getting canceled that had like a 5 in the demo, you know, like when I first started. And so, you know, you look at these, and the way you're articulating now is they're going after specific markets. They're going after, and people say there are too many shows, and my answer is always, well, are there too many songs? Because people like different things. And we used to create these shows that were just, you know, broadcast shows, so everybody could kind of find something in it. And now we're going really specific. Now we're kind of really deep diving into subculture and taking people to places that they're interested in that place. And you don't need 20 million people to love that idea for it to be a big success. And so you now, from Warner Streaming to Comcast, you know, and it will always shift. The distribution system and how it gets to your home will shift forever. And so now it's like there's nothing wrong with it. It's understanding, to Amy's point and Michael's point, is like when we go out with projects, we're fortunate. You get multiple people that come in, and there's this moment where everybody's super excited, and what's the penalty if they don't make it? Which is like, why are you celebrating getting paid if it doesn't happen? But I used to love penalties as an agent. I used to like, they're going to pay us $1 million if we fail. Victory! You know, and so it was just this, and now I'm reframed. It's like, oh, well, who's the person that actually, I think this executive connects. When Michael, you know, part of The Deputy, which is a show that we're all very proud of, David Ayer, I represented him. He was one of the first deals we were able to get to come over. And I knew because of they had football and the World Series and they have the Super Bowl, that they needed a show that was kind of a testosterone, masculine show, but of the time. And so David Ayer was the perfect filmmaker to bring. So there was a lot that I knew from where's the business going to try to find a great idea inside of it. And so you're balancing out all of these things, and it's understanding the buyers in the marketplace. It's understanding where they're going. And it's understanding a little bit of, sometimes they have a narrative like, we're going down this path. And often that gets blown up when they just hear something that they love. As many times as I've heard like, oh, we're looking for this. And then, so it's the balance of those two ideas of it's just got to be great with you're getting data from the buyers in terms of what they believe their needs are and what shows will really service their growth. And you're always looking at those two things. But I use that song analogy of there's not too many songs is really how I look at this. Everybody starts going crazy. There's 500 series and it's so hard. When something's good for whatever reason, it seems to always find its way.
Right.
There's not been a amazing show that I feel got canceled because it was so great. It couldn't find its way. And even Breaking Bad, I think, is the best example where that show was really coming almost to the end because AMC was just hard for them to promote it, whatever. And then it went on Netflix, and then people started to fall in love with it, and then they went back to and then it just took off. And so now curation and awareness on where a show exists and if it's right for you is really our biggest challenge. And you see Apple and YouTube are going to do a lot in helping that, letting you understand what's great and where to find it.